Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you new here, hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications bell, and leave a thumbs up on this video if you enjoy it.
Don't know where I'm going. You be on my phone talking about what's my problem. I done go alone and get it how I want it. I don't be alone to figure out how I should be loved. And if it's just us.
Okay, as y'all can see and y'all read by that title, today's video is going to be a story time. So as y'all read by the title, this story time is about when I was going to school and I was in my senior year of school, and I had this teacher that was like a tutor working in the dorm after school. And one night we got into an incident where she was all yelling and doing the most in my face. And I don't care who see this video because it's my channel. I'm grown. I do what I want on my channel. And this is from my experience, past experience. And I'm going to do my story time. So I have a lot of story times that's going to be coming. That's probably going to shock a lot of people. But it's my story time. So just tune in and see what's popping. Okay? Because these story times gonna be good. But this story time basically, y'all. Okay, so we was in my senior year of high school. And the teacher, she was working in the dorms after school. Like, she would come after school and work with the students for tutoring and stuff. And of course, she was cool or whatever when I met her. Like, she was a real nice person. I always conversated with her. I always talked to her. It wasn't that bad. And it also had other tutors that worked in the dorm as well, but they was like younger and they was like in college or whatever, but they would come over and tutor us. So okay, so like I said, we was cool. I would talk to her. We probably only had like this time where I kind of wanted to step back away from her once. And we're not even gonna get into all that because there was a lot of drama within itself as well, dealing with that. So okay, we get into my senior year. And y'all know when you get into your senior year, or when you get in your junior, senior year, all that stuff, that work gonna start doubling on you. You gonna have so much on your plate, so much assignments. You gonna have a lot going on. So I had financial literacy was my class. And that year I was still kind of missing school because of like having to visit the eye doctor and all kind of sorts of stuff personal. So I would do virtual because virtual came about in 2020, and then they just kept it or whatever. So when I would be home from school and I leave that week, I would get on virtual and do my classes. But it was kind of much more difficult to keep up being virtual, trying to get all your assignments done, versus being actually on campus in person. So that's why I never liked virtual, and I was so mad and wanting to go back to school because I was like, this is not for me. Because at home, I was just sitting there, laying in the bed, not even paying attention on classes, doing all kind of other stuff. Okay, so I had financial literacy this year, and I was missing, I think it was 6 assignments I was missing. But I had a really cool, chill math teacher. She was like real cool, like we was really close. And when I first met her, when I first got there, I thought she was gonna be this mean type, but we really got close and talked all the time. So, okay, she reassured us, like, y'all ain't gotta worry. We was gonna go over everything we had to get did in the class time. So nobody was failing. All of us was, for the majority, most part, was doing good in her class. Nobody was failing. And especially not me, because she had already told me what grade I had in her class. I had an 8 in her class. So I wasn't even tripping. But during this time, I had a lot going on. So I had to take a big standardized test, and it's like the ACT company. And they had the prep classes, but they prep classes was not an actual class during the school day. It was, you have to stay after school and do all this. But this particular week, I had these assignments that I was trying to make up and get did, because it was so many that piled up. So I'm like, hey, yo, yeah, like, to the administration, like, I got these assignments I'm trying to make up, and I need to go handle this and try to get it in. And she was actually staying after school, so I could have went to her and got these assignments did. But they wasn't having it. They was like, oh, you go here, da da da. So, okay, it came down to this one particular day where I had got overwhelmed because, oh my God. So anyways, I was very overwhelmed because, like, I want everything to be perfect when it comes down to stuff. I take pride in what I'm doing. So if I feel overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I'm stressed, I ain't gonna get these assignments, what if I, like, my mind just start going everywhere and I get too overwhelmed. So this particular day was after school, and we would always have to go in the gym after school for tutoring or whatever. So, okay, what happened was, I was like mad this day. I was probably crying. Yeah, I was. And I was upset, and I was like, bro, like, why y'all just won't let me go and make up my assignments and stuff like that? So, and I'm not even finna get into how administration was, because that's neither here nor there. Like, I don't care to bring up how unorganized they were and how much of bullies they were and just how mean they was in general, except for one of them that's one of the administrative people. I love her so much with everything. She's so sweet. I love her. Never forget her, and can't wait to see her again. But besides that, we went out into the hall. Well, I was like way in the back of the gym, laying in the back of the gym, and everybody was like asking what was wrong with me and stuff like that, and I wouldn't talk. So this lady comes over to me, and let me give her a name. We gonna call her Mary. Let's call her Mary. Okay. Mary walks up to me while I was sitting down in the back of the gym, and she's asking what's wrong. Now, when I'm in my mood and I'm mad and upset about something and I'm crying, I ain't trying to talk to nobody. So it's gonna take you a long time to get out of me what's wrong with me, because I'm not gonna talk for a long time. So, okay, then let's get this other lady a name. T. Okay. T comes up to me and she's like, Crystal, what's going on? What's wrong? And I'm just like, I don't even want to talk about it. So she gets me and tells me to come to the bathroom and talk to her and tell her what's going on. So I get up, walk to the bathroom with her. She asks me what's going on. I finally decide to say something. So right there, Mary felt some type of way because I didn't say nothing to her, but I left with T to the bathroom and talked to T. Okay, so then that's when one of the ladies from the administrative, very evil woman that I don't want to even discuss, but she always was being messy. They all had this little orchestration with the administrative going on where they was all cool and kumbaya and talk about everything and probably everybody, if you ask me, even the principal included. So okay, so I was already not even in the mood to even worry about other students getting the privilege to not have to come to the prep, because they just did that on their own. They just left and didn't care and blah blah blah. But it did have privileges there where they would do other students different from others. So she was just like, well, why are we worried about other people? We should be worried about ourselves. So I'm like, first of all, shut your mouth, because nobody even worried about you. Nobody is including you in what's going on. Anyways, you just want to be taking over everybody's job here and think you the boss of everybody when you not. So I was like, forget what she said. So okay, time come where we get to the work keys prep. I'm still mad, still blah blah blah, and I never did walk into class, never did go into the class. Like, I was like, I'm not going into no class, like, forget y'all. So one of the ladies from the administrative, who I really love so much, she let me come to her office and do my work keys prep in her office. So I was doing my work or whatever. Then we got out of the prep tutoring time, and it was time for us to go back to the dorm, and then we have to go to dinner. So went to dinner. I didn't even eat because I wasn't hungry, because I was like still upset and angry. So then we get back to the dorm. That's when Mary comes to the dorm, and she asked to speak with me. Oh no, we gotta backtrack a little bit. So I had let my grandmother know prior to the situation, what was going on, that I had work that I needed to get done, and they wasn't trying to let me do it. So my grandma had already called up there to them about this situation. So that's how Mary found out, by talking to the evil lady in the administrative, and they was and the principal, and they was having their little chit chat about the situation. Okay, so when Mary came in the dorm, she was all mad. So I match energies. That's what I do. I matches energies, okay? So she come and want to speak with me and another girl. And me and the other girl, we had the same class or whatever. So we sitting at the table. Y'all, I can't even remember what all was said to me. But I'll try to like post it into the thing to show y'all like what all was said if I can. Cause this was so many years ago, I don't even remember what had went down. But she starts like getting all mad, like, you had so much to say today in the office to the people, and da da da. Like, she started going in on me, like yelling at me in my face. And so I got mad, and I wasn't having that. So every time I try to explain myself as to what really was, you know, the situation, she keep cutting me off and like that, like at my neck, at my throat, like she ready to jump off. So I was like, look, lady, if you ain't gonna let me explain myself, we don't need to even talk right now. And see, I'm not like the disrespectful, because I was raised with so much respect. My parents have taught me so much respect. If I didn't have no respect, y'all, in the middle of that lady jumping at me like a koala bear, I would have got up from that table and walked away from her while she was talking. But I didn't do that. So I'm just letting her say whatever she feels she needs to say, letting her get out whatever she feels like she needs to get out or whatever. So, okay, and another thing, when me, my grandma, and the administrative in the office had the phone call with my grandmother, they twisted everything I said, brought it to her when that was confidentiality. That was something that was not supposed to be brought outside of the office. So y'all literally had this discussion about what was said in the office to this woman to make her react and go crazy the way she did. Cause y'all putting something in her head, and then she reacting off the emotions, going crazy and stupid on me. So she doing all her yelling, and then y'all, I made her so mad because I laughed in this woman's face. I laughed in Mary's face because I was like, you're a joke right now. Like, you're really a joke. Like, you really think that I'm this same person from how many years ago where somebody got in my face, I just started crying? Like, baby, no, I held my own at that table. I laughed in your face because you made a fool of yourself that night by going off of what somebody else said, not receiving the actual facts. So yeah, so after she done all her big huge commotion, y'all, she said so much stuff to me, like I couldn't believe what was coming out this woman's mouth. I was like, boy. But yeah, I would try to put that in this video because I wrote everything down that was said to me, because I'm finna get to the other part in a minute in this story. Okay, so after she said what she had to say, I left from the table, called my grandmother, and I was so mad. I was like, I'm ready to go right now. Like, I grabbed my suitcase, started throwing all my clothes in that suitcase. I was like, I'm ready to go home because I was so mad. So my grandma was like, what's going on? What's going on? So I told her everything that happened. So she was like, bring the phone to her. So I brought the phone to Mary. Mary's still out there helping people or whatever. So I brought the phone to her. Now, let me tell y'all, Mary have a little hearing issue or whatever. And I guess this day and night, she ain't have her hearing aid on or something. I don't know. But I went up close to Mary. Okay, this Mary sitting in the chair right here. I'm standing up right here on the side of Mary, right here in the chair at the table. I say, excuse me, but my grandma said she want to talk to you. Now, I said that right by her, so I know she heard me. So then, that's when she said, oh, look, the nice Krista is back. So my grandma heard it. So I was like, she ain't trying to grab the phone. She don't want to take the phone. So my grandma was like, oh, she don't want to take the phone, da-da-da. So my grandma told me to go take the phone to the supervisor of the dorm. So I brought the phone to the supervisor. My grandma explained to her everything that was going on. So then that's when the supervisor came up in there. Now, mind y'all, the dorm staff was in there the whole time this whole big thing went on. They never said nothing. They never tried to step in and say, look, this is still a student. At the end of the day, no matter how old she is, because I want to say I was, I think I was 19. Yeah, I was about 19, I think, or 18. So even though I'm grown, I'm still a student. You feel me? And you're a whole old grown woman, and you doing all this in my face. Like, yeah. So they never did try to, say, like, this is getting out of hand. We got to handle this. Like, they didn't do nothing. They just sat there. Okay. Then one of the dorm parents was just like, oh, you could have came to me and I could have helped you and blah, 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 blah. Baby, I don't care, because this is not your lane over here to be helping me. That's not your lane. The whole point, had they would have sent me where I needed to be in tutoring time, that is what I needed. I wanted my teacher help because it was a specific issue that needed her, because she had the lesson plan. She know what's going on with this paper. She have to help me, not y'all. So, okay, I didn't want their help. I wanted my teacher help. And I don't feel like there's no problem with me wanting help from my teacher. Okay. So, spoke to her. Then Mary comes. She's like, oh, give me the phone. I want to talk to her. No, she don't want to talk to you. My grandma said, no, don't talk to her. Tell her don't say nothing to Krista for the rest of this night. None of that. So after that, she's still trying to talk to me after my grandma said, no, don't talk to her at all for the rest of the night. So, okay, the next morning roll around and it was testing time. It was time for the test. So, okay, I'm already like on edge. So she literally waited in the front office for me to come after my grandma still told her that night, do not come up to her. Do not be in the same area. I don't want her around me. I don't want Mary around my granddaughter. No. She waited up there in the office for me to get there. When I got in there, y'all, I was finna walk past this lady because my grandma said don't say nothing to her and she don't need to say nothing to you. So I'm over here finna go on about my business, y'all. Tell me why Mary grabs me by my arm, y'all. Tell me why Mary grabbed me by my arm. I was like, I know this woman didn't. I know this woman just didn't grab me by my arm after my grandma said no. So, y'all, she started apologizing. She starts saying how sorry she is and how she didn't get my side of things, and we was both angry last night, and I really love you, I really care about you. And this woman said a whole prayer to me with me, y'all. She over here praying with me, talking about something about me doing good on the test. Like, no ma'am, no ma'am. So okay, I was finna forgive her, y'all. I was. But I just feel like that type of behavior just doesn't need to be accepted in a school system, because I didn't want that to be okay for other people coming up behind me to go through that same situation, because they always would be like that. Like, I wasn't the first time. Like, it's been so many years before me, ever since before I was even there, that they have pulled things on these students because they get in good with the family and try to make sure like, oh, they safe, they in the best of hands. But you got so many different students coming from different areas staying on this campus that is not going home, and they family is trusting them in your hands, and then you be pulling this slick stuff, you know, playing these little games. So this stuff had been going on way before me, like probably way before I even came to the school, that like a lot of stuff crazy was happening. So I was just gonna let it go at first, but my math teacher, she was such a good person at the time to have in my corner, because when my grandma and I discussed to the administration everything that went down, my grandmother asked for the superintendent number, and they was like, oh no, we're gonna handle it ourselves. But because of the math teacher, she was a good woman to have in my corner, because she was like, no, I'm gonna give you his information myself, because we is not finna make this okay for them to keep doing this and let this be allowed. So she really had pushed this out here for me to get this did. And y'all, she was my biggest help on this situation. And we came together, went to the superintendent, I wrote him the email and everything, and I went and seen him, had the meeting with him. My grandmother came, we sat down with him and his team, and y'all, it wasn't gonna take like so fast for this to get handled, because it's higher ups, like with the board, they have board meetings, and they had to handle that within themselves. But for some odd reason, they on some hokey pokey stuff, because they fired the superintendent, saying supposedly he stole some money, when that wasn't. I don't even believe that. I really feel like he was really getting on his game, and he was really, truly, honestly finna help me and get all them people out of there. He was finna wipe all them people out of there, y'all. I really believe so. But they fired him. But what I will say, things has kind of changed over there, and people are going in other directions. But then, like, when my grandmother had the conversation with the evil lady and the principal, like, she was like, well, who said something? Because somebody had to say something. And the principal was like, well, I personally didn't have a conversation with Mary. But when she said, okay, so did this woman say something? She over here sitting in the chair, looking all stupid, like, like, you know you're the one that had said something to this woman. Like, I really can't stand her. Y'all, she's a Karen for real. And not to mention, she was already watching me my senior year as well. Like, towards the end of my senior year, she would watch me every day in the cafeteria for lunchtime. I was like, go on about your business. And not to mention the sweet woman, the sweet lady who I love. And they included her in this whole situation. They spread lies to her saying that I had said something including her. I never once mentioned her name. She didn't have anything to do with this situation. I never had her name nowhere. And like, I feel like they had got in her head and made her believe that I had said something. Knowing the relationship I have with her, like, I was like kind of feeling a type of way, like hurt. Like, I don't want her to really believe what these evil people are spreading, these rumors, when I never mentioned her or included her in nothing, because this had nothing to do with her. So why would I have to mention her for? So I was like really hurt. I was like, I really hope she don't believe this. Like, I really love her. She's really genuinely someone there who really cares about the future of her students. So I think she didn't believe it, because as time went on, we did like get back to, like, we was still talking how we were before. And graduation came and we talked and I hugged her and everything. And she called not too long ago checking on me. She had called my dad. So I still love her. She's really a good, cool person. And I can't wait to see her again. But yeah, y'all, like, it was like crazy that this woman was all up in my face going in on me like that. I was like, is she really serious? Like, no ma'am, Mary. Like, you gotta get it together. And then it was another thing too for me, because Mary, I done graduated. Why is you still bringing my name up? Nah, this past school year that just passed, she was still bringing my name up to my man, trying to make him feel awkward in some type of way and seeing all kind of stuff like that. Like, Mary, go on about your business, baby, cause ain't nobody worried about you, okay? But yeah, that's my little story time for y'all. So everything that I wrote down from that night that she said to me was sent to the superintendent. So I'm gonna see if I can post that up in here and let y'all read everything that was said. But yeah, that's the end of this little story time here. And thank you guys for tuning in to this and watching this. And I'm gonna see y'all in my next spicy story time. Bye.